Tonight on Nightline, the first 100 days, an economy in recession, 2 wars, and now a public health crisis. President Barack Obama addresses the nation at a critical moment. So how is he doing? The verdict, Pelosi and Gingrich, Krugman and Kramer, Puffington and Maher. Tonight they all tell us what they think of the president's ambitious beginning. Taking stock. So does this young presidency make the grade? We'll ask George Stephanopoulos. It's a special edition, the Nightline Report Card. The first 100 days starts right now.
From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran in Washington, Martin Bashir and Cynthia McFadden in New York City, this is Nightline, April 29th, 2009.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Terry Moran. The swine flu, or H1N1 flu as they want to call it now, that was the first order of business for President Obama tonight in a primetime news conference that marked his first 100 days in office. Earlier today, officials announced the first confirmed death in the U.S. from the flu virus, a 22-month-old child who came to Houston from Mexico for treatment. Then this afternoon, the global pandemic alert was increased again as the number of cases in the U.S. and abroad continues to rise. But this outbreak is just one of the daunting challenges this president faces. Our senior White House correspondent, Jake Tapper, was at the president's news conference. We begin tonight with his report. Jake?
Good evening, Terry. Well, President Obama in his press conference this evening seemed to give his first 100 days good grades. He said, we're off to a good start, but it's just a start. And then he started his remarks with the latest news on the flu.
This is obviously a very serious situation, and every American should know that their entire government is taking the utmost precautions and preparations.
The president told the nation he's requested $1.5 billion in emergency funding to monitor and track the virus and to build the nation's supply of antiviral drugs. And then he got practical.
Keep your hands washed. Cover your mouth when you cough. Stay home from work if you're sick, and keep your children home from school if they're sick.
Today brought the sad and alarming news of the first confirmed death in the U.S. from swine flu, a 22-month-old boy in Texas. Cases of the virus were confirmed in 11 states today, up from 5 yesterday, including a Marine in California, leading to the quarantine of 30 Marines. And for the second time this week, the World Health Organization raised the pandemic alert level, this time to a 5 on a scale from 1 to 6.
Influenza pandemics must be taken seriously precisely because of their capacity to spread rapidly to every country in the world.
This morning, President Obama advised some schools to close.
Schools with confirmed or suspected cases of H1N1 should strongly consider temporarily closing so that we can be as safe as possible.
Many did, affecting about 73,000 students, mostly in Texas, where they also canceled all high school sporting events.
Even though it's inconvenient, at the same time I think everybody's very much aware of what the implications could be from the swine flu, and they just want to do their part.
And this evening, the Fort Worth School District announced it would close, bringing the total estimate to more than 150,000 children who will not be in school tomorrow as a result of this virus. One change in medical terminology was evident tonight in the president's press conference: what to call the flu. Until recently, the administration had one term for this outbreak.
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
The new policy?
By the H1N1.
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 We are continuing to closely monitor the emergency cases of the H1N1 flu virus throughout the United States.
You cannot get this flu from eating pork, but with countries such as China and Russia banning imports of U.S. pork, the nation's farmers were in an uproar over the repeated use of the term. But of course, the president addressed many other topics tonight. He came closer than he ever has in accusing the previous administration of breaking the law in its treatment of detainees.
You've said in the past that waterboarding, in your opinion, is torture. And torture is a violation of international law and the Geneva Conventions. Do you believe that the previous administration sanctioned torture?
I believe that waterboarding was torture. And I think that whatever legal rationales were used, it was a mistake.
If
part of the United States were under imminent threat, could you envision yourself ever authorizing the use of those enhanced interrogation techniques?
I will do whatever is required to keep the American people safe. But I am absolutely convinced that the best way I can do that is to make sure that we are not taking shortcuts that undermine who we are.
During these first 100 days, what has surprised you the most about this office, enchanted you the most about serving in this office, humbled you the most, and troubled you the most?
Now, let me write this down.
The president said he was somewhat enchanted with the servicemen and servicewomen he meets and humbled by the lack of power he has in his new job.
I can't just press a button and suddenly have the bankers do exactly what I want. Or turn on a switch and suddenly, Congress falls in line.
Responding to critics of the government's deep involvement in banks, insurance companies, and soon automakers, the president said he would love a leaner portfolio. But this is the hand he's been dealt. And with that, he bid us adieu. This is Jake Tapper for Nightline at the White House.